From the moment I understood the vastness of 40k lore, I cried. Tears of joy. Mechanicus is a pretty small and somewhat obscure game made by several passionate little studios on a budget. Now this might sound like it's lacking in production, but for a 2018 game it looks very decent, and its soundtrack? Oh, it's absolutely godlike. The game's sequel is jokingly called a sequel to the Guillaume David soundtrack, but what Mechanicus has in droves is gameplay. A very specific type of gameplay, mind you. For you, my dear viewers, this is a very simple decision-making process. Do you like turn-based tactical games? Then step right up. You don't? Move along, nothing to see here. Maybe go play Call of Duty. It's got tactics too. Mostly deciding when to uninstall. I mostly play action games. One of my favorite games ever is Bloodborne. But sometimes it's so much fun just to sit back, relax, and contemplate your moves and tactics without rushing or sweating. Now that doesn't mean you won't be challenged though. It's that the challenge will not come in form of tighter timings and smaller, trickier to hit targets.
Or targets that are indistinguishable from one another and hard to prioritize.
I'm anxious to talk about that one too, Sharkov, in due time. Here it's more of a puzzle to be solved. Sometimes the puzzle is just how to DPS as fast as possible. Like an IQ test, but with more plasma. And you just can't deny that that immediately sounds fun. Well, apparently Mechanicus was successful enough to grant Bulwark Studios funding to make Mechanicus II. And that budget has received some obvious augmentations. We're getting 2 campaigns this time. Why yes, that means indeed that we'll be able to fill in the shoes of the immortal, paranoid Egyptian zombies that are the Necrons. Imagine if Tutankhamun just woke up after a 60 million year nap and his first thought was, "Who touched my sarcophagus?" Unfortunately, I never played the tabletop version of the game, but I've been told that the goings-on under the hood are pretty much exactly the same. And if that's the case, then with Mechanicus II some creative decisions were made in regards to gameplay mechanics.
I don't like things that are different.
You and Mr. Plinkett both.
I am in good company.
If you somehow clicked on this video and are new to the whole Warhammer 40k universe, then you're in luck. Adeptus Mechanicus, while being tightly woven into 40k universe, are at the same time their own separate thing in itself. Without diving into too much detail, think of an independent defense manufacturer for the tyrannic government on a galactic scale. The planets they reside and work on are called Forge Worlds, and they had a special one.
That planet is Mars, by the way.
They're independent because they're the exclusive supplier of all essential weapons and machinery for the regime. They're the necessary evil for the Imperium. That Treaty of Mars is ironclad. So to keep their edge sharp and just in the spirit of Adeptus Mechanicus' inquisitiveness, they're into research. That research, among other things, involves alien tomb exploration. Enter Necrons. Again, without getting into detail, imagine a heavily ancient Egypt-inspired race of mechanical zombies that are millions of years old, who killed their own gods for refusing to grant them immortality.
With some help.
You call that help?
That's how sharks help. I approve.
They conquered the whole Milky Way galaxy in their time, and then just got bored and went to sleep. And we're intruding on their crypts. Sounds pretty risky. Like breaking into a mausoleum, only the corpses have railguns. And copyright lawyers. If you know all this stuff, please don't label me as a tourist. I know there's a lot more to it all, but we need to ease people into this without giving them an aneurysm. It's a fantastic setting. Adeptus Mechanicus is a proud and secluded faction that is absolutely everywhere at the same time. That alone makes them so cool. They speak in binary to each other, the tech lingua, which sounds kinda terrifying and awesome. Unfortunately, they're doing it a lot less in the sequel. The thing about binary speak is that it's incredibly fast, and nobody except tech priests can speak it. So if they want to be extra rude to you, they can talk shit about you right before your eyes. We're getting actual cutscenes this time. And despite looking a little AI-ish, they gave me that DOS game vibe, and I really dig them for that reason. Some of the changes are immediately obvious. Your overlords who were just onlookers in the first game are now playable hero units. This opens up a whole new can of worms, which I'm sure Bulwark Studios dove into.
Ew.
That means upgrading them, baby. Cover mechanics are now a thing again. Certain weapons can become area denying when the targets perish. This is the good stuff. There's creativity here. And it's not limited to the game just being prettier. When I first learned of both factions being playable this time, my imagination ran wild. What if we'll visit the Forge Worlds? What if an ancient tech temple becomes a battleground? What if more factions will be introduced later? Is that League of Votan being teased? The possibilities are, well, endless. I firmly believe that a massive project the size of Total War is possible for 40k too. Can you imagine how incredibly awesome it would be? But Mechanicus is very narrowly focused, which isn't a bad thing at all. It's best to do one thing well. And well, it does. The sequel is a huge improvement in virtually every department. Now, details are essential for a 40k game, and when it's made by people who know and love our as of late slightly bettered setting, it's bound to be enjoyable. 40k fans love to have something to nerd out over. Well, I'm happy to report that the visuals are detailed and well made. The mechanics are more streamlined, varied, and complex. At least judging from what I've seen in a somewhat short demo. It took me just under 90 minutes to complete while reading and listening to everything. And I feel like I was given a slice of the pie that painted a vivid picture of what to expect.
Pies aren't usually made of paint.
And sharks swallow paint cans. Necrons are the kryptonite to tech priests' curiosity. But the children of Omnissiah love a good challenge. It's not like a few cuckoo paranoid immortal skeletons are going to deter them. But if you maybe feel like those barely organic meddlers deserve capital punishment for disturbing the slumber of the true rulers of the galaxy, then now you have the opportunity to take matters into your own hands.
I wish someone would make a game from the perspective of Tyranids.
But they're animals, they don't even think.
They don't? How do you explain them letting go of mind control of Gene Stealer leader when it's too late and their homeworld is doomed? And then they realize what they've done.
Holy shit, that's dark. Okay, I'm sold. Tyranids are cool. See, even space locusts have better character development than any Ubisoft game. This demo wasn't very deep in terms of unit variety and new mechanics, but it does give off a strong impression that Bulwark Studios are cooking. And they have a record with the first game, ramping up the challenge and throwing curveballs and change-ups your way. I'd wager that Mechanicus II will be an improvement and is definitely worthy of your attention if you were a fan of the first game. While mainly playing actions and shooters with an occasional racing sim, a turn-based tactical strategy game is a very welcome change of pace and scenery for me. If you on the other hand are a true fan of the genre since the days of XCOM and Jagged Alliance, played them both by the way.
And sucked at them.
I was a kid, damn it. So as I was saying, if you're a fan of the genre, you'll enjoy the spin Bulwark put on the way Mechanicus plays. I like the cover mechanic in XCOM, but to my own surprise I didn't miss it in the first game. And now it's back, and honestly I welcome it. Why? Because not every unit on the proverbial board can utilize cover. And that's just another one of those intriguing spins. So I don't know about you, but I've wishlisted Mechanicus II, and I look forward to having two awesome strategy games based in the 40k universe in 2026. With all the teased and rumored updates coming to Space Marine 2 and Dark Tide on top of that, it sounds like we're going to have a great time.
Nerd!
Takes one to know one, Sharkov. So, blessings of Omnissiah upon you, dear viewer, and thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.